Yo, what's happening, people? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Saeed TV. We are live for Rivals Talk Friday, later than usual, but apologies on the lateness, man. Things happen, man. People got live, so we try to balance life and YouTube. But yeah, big up to everybody who's locked in. Make sure you hit the like button, people. Straight away, hit the like button right now. It will literally boost the algorithm. It will get more to around YouTube and whatnot. Whoever watched the show before, you get me. We've got Igal, man, like Igal stepping in. Bavs couldn't make it, people, but Igal, what are you saying, man? You good, bro?
I'm doing good, Saeed, man. It's good Friday, just relaxing, ready for the new season, man.
Yeah, definitely, man. Big up to you, my bro. We got Henry in the building. Henry, we're coming against you a lot on the weekend. We'll get into that as well. But what are you saying, bro?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Obviously, thanks for having me back on. Big up everyone in the chat, and yeah, some tasty fixtures this weekend. I mean, tomorrow's going to be a close game. It's going to be a close game.
Yeah, no, definitely, man, definitely. We've got man like Charlie in the building. Lavio announced today as well. What are you saying, my guy? What are you saying?
Yeah, I'm good, bro. Thanks for having me as always, mate. Yeah, not bad at all. We've got Lavio through the door. Nice announcement today. Some slightly positive news on Reece James's injury, that he's going to be out for just over a month, which is better than first feared. And I've just about got over the Elise situation that happened yesterday as well. So yeah, we move on. We'll move on to the next target. But yeah, all good, bro. All good.
You must be buzzing, man. Chelsea's doing madness.
It's been mad. It's been enjoyable. I think we deserved it after last season.
Nah, definitely, man. Definitely, man. Big up to everyone. Drifty should be coming in as well. Huey couldn't make it, but Drifty will be coming in any minute. So, people, apologies on that one. But you know what? We've got some breaking news, man. So, I don't know if you guys seen it, but the Paqueta deal actually collapsed this today. So, this is what happened today around about, I think it was about, 1:15? Paqueta deal now on the verge of collapsing. Negotiations currently off between Manchester City and West Ham. So I was like, fair enough. It's probably something to do with the fact that, they don't want to pay the money or et cetera, or, it probably cost a lot of money. But then, just right now, within the last 5 minutes or so, Paqueta now has been charged with being investigated by the FA for potential betting breaches. Follows news talks over move to Man City collapsed today. Damn, that's crazy. what a fall that is. You're about to sign or maybe have an agreement with Man City for a fee, and then bang,
Yeah,
man like Paqueta.
mate,
Why did they put Tony on there though?
yeah,
Why
it's
is
a bit,
I know.
yeah,
That's
it's a
Daily
bit.
Mail, though, isn't it?
Do you know what?
Daily
Do you know
Mail,
what it
man.
is though, mate? I think I don't know if it's him personally, but I think members of his family, it was saying, have betted on matches that he was involved in, and obviously that's not allowed. So I don't know if it's him necessarily betting on his own matches, but it's definitely members of his family have been betting on matches that he was involved in.
Okay, is that what it is?
Yeah,
I need to go
that's
actually
what I've
read,
seen. I don't want to say that as like absolute fact, but that's definitely part of it. I don't know if it's him as well, but it's definitely part of it that his family members have been betting on his games.
Okay. Nah. Listen, I'm gonna just quickly run through it. It doesn't say any details of what the bettings are. No, doesn't give you any kind of clear indications. Normally, it would tell you some sort of reason. The specifics are yet to be revealed while West Ham are nervously wait to see if this leads to Paqueta being charged by the authorities. So yeah, listen, it won't be there.
It makes sense why Man City didn't get him now.
Do you reckon it's linked though? Do you reckon
100%.
we believe it's linked
Oh,
together?
yeah,
It's got to be.
100%.
Yeah, you don't
It's
have
gotta
the
be.
talks. You don't have the talks fall through, and then this comes out. Like they're definitely linked.
Yeah. I think Man City's people might have actually leaked the information, because it doesn't make sense why this has all been quiet and in the same day both stories come out, because clubs sometimes do stuff like this where they give a little bit of information to an outside entity to let people know why something's not happening. Because Man City to miss out on a signing doesn't usually happen unless they pulled out of a transfer or something bad has happened.
Yep, that's true as well. Yeah, you're right. Listen, Ivan Toney's already under 8-month kind of situation going on there, so that isn't great on his behalf. But boy, that's madness, man. You know what I mean?
But
like the charges are trying to.
He can still play, can't he? Because Tony was
Yeah,
still playing.
until
The
it's
investigation,
sorted.
the investigation
until they
could
find.
take. Yeah.
Yeah.
It could take a couple of weeks, if not months.
It could
to
take
get done.
ages. Like Tony was playing virtually the whole season with that betting stuff. So, like, I mean, again, it depends how many charges it is and whatnot, but he'll still be playing.
Yeah.
They did Tony dirty though, because Tony
Yeah.
could have went to the World Cup. They didn't have to release the information
Yeah.
before the World Cup.
That's
They
why
did
it didn't
it
go.
maliciously. I feel like Tony got punished twice because they made him miss out on the England team because of the betting scandal. He should have been on that plane.
Yeah, another reason why they pulled out. This is why I think as well. Another reason is that they wanted 85 million plus Cole Palmer, which is again, that's ridiculous.
Crazy.
Man. Cole Palmer is that he's a good talented player. So for them to say like West Ham have been very very sneaky in what they've been asking for, which is fair enough. They can do whatever they want, but to me, like that's crazy, man.
Just on
That's
that,
crazy.
£85 million, right? The reason they're asking for that is because next summer he's got an £85 million release clause that's active. So if they're going to sell him this summer, they want at least to get more than that because he can guarantee to leave at 85 next summer because of that release clause in there.
Okay.
That release clause gone to shits now.
Yeah, well, that release clause could be fucked now. But yeah, basically that's why they're demanding this much money that summer, because they know they can definitely get 85 million next summer.
Yeah.
The players, like the transfers are ridiculous. 85 million for Paqueta, 115 million for Casado. It's
£50 million
ridiculous.
Brennan Johnson.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Like all of a sudden, like the Premier League, the last few years has just got so much money now. Like Chelsea have spent more than the whole of La Liga combined. Like it's ridiculous.
Mad.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Chelsea
Absolutely
spent
crazy.
more
No, you're
under
spot on.
Todd Bowley than most teams, though.
No, I'm talking about the whole league, Gal. The whole league, they've spent more. It's ridiculous. It's
No, it is mad.
crazy.
It is mad. But Man City is probably just about, I want to say got away with it, but in terms of like, you know what, they got into something that they didn't need to in that aspect, because obviously Paqueta, they were looking to get him. Obviously that deal has sorted out, but they would have renegotiated maybe in a sense. But then if they heard there was rumors of Paqueta being investigated, that would have probably toppled it all together. So, boy, man, I don't know, man. It's crazy, man. Like, you got to be careful, man. Football now.
They need someone. I
think Man City are in trouble, big time. Like we all think Man City's team is unpenetrable. They're this great team, but let's be honest. Whenever they had Kevin De Bruyne go down, they always had Gundogan and Bernardo Silva who could step up.
And Mahrez as well.
Yeah.
And Mahrez and Phil Foden. They don't have those guys. Mahrez is gone. Cole Palmer is basically taking his place. Gundogan's gone. Kovacic is taking his place. And we all know Kovacic is nowhere near the attacking presence that Gundogan is. And then on top of that, KDB goes down. They might be in trouble.
Well, that's what Paqueta was going to. Or Paqueta would have been the guy that would have come in.
They'll go and get someone else. This is what
they will get someone else, but it depends. Who is that? Who is that someone else?
They're going to get. I think they'll get Jeremy Doku to go out on the right, who's a serious talent.
What about sort of that number 10 role though? Because
what about the midfield?
Like we're forgetting, like they've still got Foden who barely played at the back end of last season. He'll come in somewhere. Guardiola will know exactly. Like they've got the best of everything. Best director of football in world football. Right, running their football club, the best chairman, Guardiola. They'll be aware of all the players on the market, and they'll go and get 2 or 3 more players by the end of the window.
But Henry, I'm talking about as currently constructed. If you watch that game versus Sevilla, they only had 1 attacking option off the bench.
That's
midfield
right,
and the attack.
Facts.
So with injuries, they could really be thin. And
that's why it's a myth that City, when people say City have got a massive squad, they don't.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand why people say that. They haven't got a big squad.
They just got a good 15. They got a great 15. 17.
But the options from the bench in the Super Cup,
the
options on the bench in the Super Cup, I mean, I don't want to say they are poor, but like, they're not. There wasn't many game-changing options from the bench.
Only defenders and Julian Alvarez. Bro, if Drifty was playing against this Liverpool this year, he would be licking his lips.
Bro, I know, man. It's the worst Liverpool team that you could get. You know what I mean? Big up to Drifty, by the way. Big up to you, my bro. Hope you're well, man.
Nice entrance there. A bit of shade already. Is what it is, isn't it?
Yeah, bro. I'm just going to say what up. You know what I mean?
No, big up everyone. Love, man. Good to be here.
Yeah, because now apparently John Stones has sustained a muscular injury and missed the game versus Newcastle. Guardiola confirms he doesn't know how long Stones will be out of action.
And Diaz out as well still.
Diaz is out as well. Doubt for the game as well. So
I don't think
City will win ill versus Newcastle.
No, I think they still win. I think they still win me.
I think a draw.
I think it's a draw too, or Newcastle win.
Newcastle are going to have their towels up. They just battered Villa 5-1 right at home.
Yeah, but it don't matter for me because
this is the best time to play City because notoriously they don't.
Slow starters.
Other than that Centurions year, they never go out and like. Like Arsenal last year won 9 of their first 10 games. City don't do that. But when it comes down to that last 10 games, they win every single one.
Yeah. No, listen, I think for me, ultimately, are we looking at Man City and thinking, you know what, they're weaker? Yes. But in reality, I think for me, that game against Aston Villa, that high line was a madness, man. It almost exploited Aston Villa too much when I don't think he needed to do that, Unai Emery. But their record at the ground is terrible. They've not won since Alan Pardew when he was around there. So, I don't know. I'm going to come to Drifty now. Like, what are you looking at? Obviously, I don't know if you've seen the news about Paqueta. That deal looks to be off. And now it's apparently been investigated by the FA for betting or alleged betting, etc., etc. What are you saying about City and whatnot? Yeah, man, just literally just come out like 5-10 minutes ago. Apparently he's been charged apparently for alleged betting. So,
is that why City don't want him anymore? Not the cost. I thought it was maybe the price why they didn't want him anymore.
It's a bit of mixture. Maybe they found out the price, and then also later on they found out that as well behind the scenes.
It
just
they would have known that. The Daily Mail wouldn't just drop a bombshell like that. They don't know.
Oh, there you go. They would have known that. And Jack Vaughan's quite close to City as well, so he would have known that. But what are you saying about City, man, just in general?
You know what? I think they are a little bit vulnerable. I think what happened last season is Arsenal, as much as they did have a good lead on them, it ended up not quite being enough of a lead for City to be discouraged. And then City clawed their way back and the rest is history. I think if they have another season like they did at the beginning, but might even be a little bit worse with some of the things like you lot are saying, they're getting a bit of injuries now. No, De Bruyne is a little bit of a worry for them. There's a possibility that a team could get out ahead and get too far ahead for them to catch up again this year. Your first guess will be Arsenal based on last season. But, I mean, it is a fresh season. Anybody could possibly go on a good run here, put 4 or 5 wins together, get a little bit of a lead on City, maybe a little 4 points or something like that. And then you never know. City might get another injury, or I don't know. They might be tired. Maybe they're not as motivated. There's a lot of unknown factors about the way City are going to play for this season, right? But I would never ever doubt them and act like any of these things are guarantees. These are just possibilities.
I reckon we're sort of hopeful that they're going to not do as well, just so it's more competitive and we've got more of a chance. But I think the reality is that City, even with De Bruyne out, they're still comfortably the best team in the league. Like it's just the way it is. It's up to the other teams now to step up and match them. Yeah, City going to be a little bit weaker, but a weaker City is probably still better than everyone else anyway.
No, but they're way more vulnerable than they've ever been. I personally, I'm comfortable enough to say that I would put Arsenal as favorites right now. And that's a lot of pressure on us.
Oh,
but I would put Arsenal
that's a lot of pressure, man. For you just to put that in the bombshell and say you're the favorites now. You realize what you're saying there. Like you are the
I know. I realize what I'm saying.
Do you not think because Timber's injured, right, which is incredibly unfortunate, you've essentially spent 200 million to replace Xhaka?
No, because we still have a lot of depth in both wing back positions. So we do have Tomiyasu, we have Zinchenko, we still currently have Kieran Tierney, we have Ben White. So I understand that it is a big blow and he's going to be a miss, and we might do some more transfer business. But as currently constructed, Manchester City don't have Kevin De Bruyne. They only have Bernardo Silva and Cole Palmer, who can play on the right wing. They have Jack Grealish and Foden, who can play on the left wing. Midfield, they really didn't. They downgraded their midfield, and then their defense has gotten better. But that's the only part of their team that's gotten better. I feel like every other aspect of their team has gotten weaker. Plus, what Drifty said with the lack of motivation because they won the treble, and the fact that they might be like, you know what, we accomplished everything. How are you going to get yourself up? I know there's been this famous saying: once you're wearing silk pajamas and you're the heavyweight champion, it's not as easy.
Let me ask you a question again. Do you think your squad is better than Manchester City's?
No, because we don't have as big.
So how are you favorites then?
Because we currently constructed, we have more depth, and even though we might not have as many quality players,
Tomiyasu is one of your depth. He's injury prone. Kieran Tierney's injury prone. The depth that you're saying, is it really depth? Like when you're talking about depth, like what are we saying? Like Jorginho's depth? Like these guys, come on, man. Are they gonna really win you the league? Are you looking at them players and thinking they're gonna capital you guys to win the league? I don't think that. If you're saying big up like Declan Rice for me, I can say, yeah, fair enough. But I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, that's it. Where else have you upgraded? Like Timber's out. Jesus is out injured. Where have you upgraded really?
There's no upgrades. There's no upgrades from last season in the first 11 other than Declan Rice. Obviously, Timber would have been an upgrade, but he's out. But other than Declan Rice, right now there is no upgrades on last season's team.
Bro,
but does signing Declan Rice suddenly make you like that much better than Man City to win the league?
No, but
we've got to play Champions League as well.
You're looking at it the wrong way. I'm looking at it from Man City subtractions plus their current injuries. If you look at the two teams, who's missing more? Gundogan and Kevin De Bruyne, or Arsenal currently having Timber and Jesus injured? Who's missing more?
Well, City those players are probably more important for City, but like those
and Riyad Mahrez.
Yeah, Mahrez is a big loss for sure because he puts up decent numbers. But
I don't think you guys are deep in how much goals they're missing, how much
they are. But does City missing De Bruyne and Mahrez suddenly make Arsenal better than them? I'm still not convinced it does. Maybe it brings them closer, but as an overall team, I'm not sure if it makes City. It makes Arsenal on the same level or better than City with those two missing. It brings it closer.
City still win the league without De Bruyne, Mahrez, and Gundogan.
But before, when they didn't have De Bruyne, they still had Mahrez, Gundogan. Now you guys are trying to say, "Oh, they're going to do it again." You're forgetting
right now, maybe. But who if they bring someone in, I don't know who they bring in.
Which they will bring someone in.
No, they will bring someone in, and then that could change it again.
Is it Doku they're chasing at the moment?
Doku as well.
Very fast, rapid, kind of like Sane. He's a Sane type of player. Yeah. Maybe Pep wants to have a byline player in the team again so they can switch up the play, start doing the cutbacks. If they start doing cutbacks, we're going to see about 88 goals this season from Harden. Let's keep it a buck. Do you know what I mean? Imagine Leroy Sane was at the club with Haaland. All those cutbacks he used to do and he used to just get to the byline and pull it back. Sterling. Can you imagine how many tap-ins Haaland would be getting there. So that could equalize it for them. You never know.
Football's a humbler. Egal, football is a humbler, says Sasko. You know what? Listen, I don't know. I don't know where Arsenal fans get the confidence from. I think you're there and abouts. I think, though, if there's any time to win this league, it's this season. That means for anybody, really. If United were at the level where they were actually serious and they bought Harry Kane in, obviously they didn't really go for Harry Kane, but they should have looked at this summer thinking, you know what, if this is the Glazers, if they had any common sense, you know what? Opportunity. Let's splash the cash here and let's go win this league. But again, they're not going to do it because at the end of the day, it's what you call Glazeronomics. It's what you call shortcomings. They've always done this in the past where they've gone and then they've not gone to the extent of winning something. They've never done it, man. And that's what the managers have faced.
I do agree with Agal in terms of it is harder to, once you've won everything, it is harder to go again. Absolutely. And it will be a test of Pep to remotivate these players, bring some fresh faces in to freshen up the surroundings. And it is harder to go again when you've won it all, because what is the motivation other than winning again when you've already done it? You might want to do it loads of times, sure, but it is harder to motivate yourself. You could potentially, I'm not saying I agree with this, but you could argue it one way that Arsenal are probably hungrier than City to win because City have already won so much, whereas Arsenal haven't. So I don't know if that maybe plays a part as well, potentially.
Or it might be that they feel mad disappointed about last season and they kind of struggle to shrug it off.
For sure.
It could, do you know what I mean? We've seen disappointment can hit you both ways. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. No, 100%. Big up to King Howie says, Egal, Man City still have the best striker in Haaland, mid in Rodri and Edison as the best keeper, maybe just Alisson better. So they will always be favourites.
No, but Liverpool had better players than Man City. It's just Man City had a better team. Let's be honest. Liverpool had Alisson, better keeper. Van Dijk, better defender. You had Mo Salah, better attacking player than anybody that City had back then. You even go into the midfield. You could argue.
You still haven't added the manager as well. You still haven't
argue that Fabinho was a better. Fabinho at the time was one of the best DMs. So you can make the same case, but we've seen that doesn't necessarily win you the league.
Yeah, but also you haven't considered the manager as well. They've also got Pep Guardiola. He's the 12th man. He's another guy that's just there, isn't it? You know what I'm saying?
He's a freak of nature. It's as simple as that.
It's a freak of nature. Yeah. Big up to International Association of Fact Checkers. What a name, mate. So does Egal think they're just not going to address these issues? Pep finds solutions consistently and has done for years. To think otherwise is arrogance.
It's not arrogance. Bro, there's 12 days left in the transfer window.
Are you getting anyone in the transfer window, by the way? Are you getting anyone else?
Arsenal?
Yeah.
We need to deal with outgoings. Everyone who thinks we're going to sign another 4 players, where are we going to put them? We need to do outgoings. We still have
we need a striker for me. Arsenal need a striker.
We're not going to sign
that's what I would do.
Arsenal have got a 30-man squad, I heard. That's 5 players that they have to maybe move on.
We just got rid of Runnerson.
Tips on
we need to get rid of Nuno Tavares.
Yeah.
Apparently, Nottingham Forest are going to give us 30 million for Nuno Tavares.
Nah, that's crazy. Swear down.
They bid 30 million. We're going to take it.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Nah, I want to know what's going on with Arsenal and Chelsea. If you can get these, like Hall, for example, the kid looks good. 30 million.
Right now.
No, bro, you know they're giving these fees for these players, man.
Hall's good.
Let me find out if that's true or not.
Hall is good. He would start at Man United, Arsenal. Let's be honest.
Hall is good.
He's not 30 million good though. He hasn't played. How many games has he played? Is it 35 mil?
Well, it's 20. It's a loan with an obligation for 28 million. There's £7 million performance add-on, so it could be 35 mil.
Bloody hell!
He didn't play 12 games.
That's crazy.
Hall is good.
He is good.
British Zinchenko. He's actually really good.
I know, but he's got to prove it before he's 35 million. Do you know what I mean?
Like, it is potential at this point.
No.
If he proved it, he would cost 80 mil.
What I'm saying, but I would agree with Drifty though. That I do feel that from Arsenal's perspective, Eddie Nketiah and Gabriel Jesus are not title-winning centre forward options. They just aren't. It has to be better than that.
Yeah. Now, listen, man. Mirror Sport is a source, by the way, which is, I don't know, for me, you can take it with a pinch of salt. There's credible journalism.
Like Grizz that is.
Nah, that's Grizz sources, man. That's mad, man. Guys, there's over 1,000 people in the building. Please like the video, man. It doesn't cost you a penny right now, and it would help the channel out massively. So please do hit the like button. We're currently on 240 likes. So let's get that up to 500 ASAP. Big up to Kudus holding out in hopes of an Arsenal move. I don't know what Kudus is doing, man. Them
He's
like
going West
he's
Ham.
going Chelsea.
He's going West
What's
Ham.
happening to him? This guy.
I think
That's a serious signing for West Ham if he goes there.
He's very close. He's very close. I wonder if West Ham signing Kudus is a Paqueta replacement, or would have been a Paqueta replacement, or they having him as well. Like I don't know. But on that Paqueta thing, there's been a quick update on Sky saying that he's surprised and shocked, and the investigation is believed to be about bets that were placed in Brazil, and they weren't placed by him. And it says there's no bets on his bank statement, and the 80 million deal to City was almost agreed. But it could still happen if it's cleared up quickly. So these are bets.
Why does he care about what's in Brazil, man?
So there are bets in Brazil, but they weren't even placed by him. So I'm not really sure what's going on here.
Yeah, and maybe because it's in a different league, it won't even actually affect him in the Premier League. So he might still be all right. Hey, can I just ask a guy a quick question, because it's been playing on my mind.
Go for it.
If Kudos for a start, I think he's a brilliant player, don't get me wrong, but I think he's very similar mold to Jesus, which would be a little weird if you got him, because if you're going to go and buy a striker, I'll buy an out-and-out striker. And if we're sitting here in 2 years' time and Arsenal haven't won the league, was 105 million for Declan Rice silly?
Bro, if we sit here in a year's time and we don't win the league and we're no better and we've gone back to being a banter club, then 100%.
But I'll give you two, because I think it's a bit unfair to demand Declan wins you the league in the first year. But within two, obviously, surely, like, would that be considered overpriced and a bit too much, because he's meant to be the needle mover, right?
Bro, the reality is, if Declan Rice in his time at Arsenal does not win a single trophy, like a major trophy, like a league or a Champions League, then it's been a failure of a signing. Because we're expecting him to come into a team that was finished second to help us get to the next level and to take over from Partey's position in the future. That's really why we're spending the money. Plus, he's English tax. Buying a Premier League proven player from the Premier League helps with the transition, so it can help us this season. Where if we were to buy somebody from another league, it might take him 6 months. Like we've seen with Rodri, Fabinho, it took them a little while to get themselves going. But once they get going,
by the way.
Bro, I just want to
Chelsea.
Chelsea apparently. That's the same as I was going to say, yeah.
Yeah, apparently Chelsea are interested in signing Balogun, man. That was yesterday. It was Tottenham, but now apparently Sky Sports.
Yeah, Sky Sports.
You spend 60 million on him?
Why don't Arsenal seemingly want Balogun? I know he's
attitude problems.
Is he better than Nketiah?
He's fifth choice.
But he's better than
Nketiah. He is better than Nketiah.
He's better than Nketiah because he scored 21 goals in the French league, but he's not better than him in attitude and work rate. Eddie Nketiah is willing to be that guy who is to sit on the bench and wait for his chance, and when he gets his chance, takes it. But Balogun has almost come in with the arrogance that I'm not going on loan. I'm coming here. I'm going to play or I'm going to go. And the reason being, his agent,
Nicholas Anelka 2.0.
His agent is the same agent as Bukayo Saka.
That's a good point,
His agent is Reece Nelson. So the agent already has so much ties with Arsenal. We're kind of maybe doing them a solid to get the player out to go somewhere where he can progress.
Would you sell him then?
This is a madness.
Do you want him to go?
Havertz, how much? And now Balogun. What are you two doing? What Chelsea and what is this? You lot are supposed to be rivals. What is this?
I'm confused. Balogun, I will drive rivals,
man. How many years on the contract? 2. He's got 2 years left. Yeah. 2 years left. So this is the last chance to get a decent fee for him.
No. We have him 2 years after this. He's
2 years after
run down in 2025.
Okay.
We signed him up to a new contract before he went on loan, 4-year deal. So he's under 3 years left.
But has he played the Premier? Has he played any Premier League football?
He played the last game he started was Brentford away when we lost. That first game.
So he's got one appearance in the Prem, or he's got a few.
One start.
One Premier League start, and it's 60 million.
60 million because of what he did in the French league.
Let's be honest. He didn't have a fantastic. I think he got 3 goals for Middlesbrough as well.
You spent 40 million on players who scored.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. You know what? With the Balogun situation is that I think Arsenal will regret it when he bangs at another club. It's just one of them, like. You don't take hold of him. You don't take care of him. It's like now Middlesbrough, yeah. I think Middlesbrough. I don't know if you know Middlesbrough, but Middlesbrough have lost Chukwuemeka Akpom And he was a big reason why they went into at
He's
least
gone
the
to Ajax,
first,
isn't he?
or something.
He's at Ajax now,
He's
yeah.
gone to Ajax
Where did
now.
Chuba Akpom come from?
Arsenal.
Arsenal. There you go. Look at that, and he's banging in goals. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't want a situation
Malen.
where you, Marlon, yeah, he's
what's
at Dortmund now. So Arsenal have had good players where they've let go and they've not really started to realise their potential. But to make it at Arsenal is tough, man. Like Haaland, boy, to make it at Arsenal, like what is the chances of it happening? We have Rashford, we have a couple of others, obviously, that have come through and not really, you know what I mean? It's obviously
You don't get
million,
many.
man.
You don't get many in
Don't get
general. I
many.
mean, like Liverpool have had a few with Trent. Biotic has come through a little bit as well.
Gerrard,
we've
had 4 academy players in 20 years.
I mean, we've had a few more.
You know why
recently.
Balogun is not going to make it? It's because really and truly he wants to kick on. He wants to continue to be the main guy somewhere, or to be a big part. And at Arsenal, he's not going to get that. You scored 21 goals last year. You're the face of the USA national team. Why stay at Arsenal and be a backup when you can go somewhere and progress your career? Get it.
But surely, though, right now with Arsenal's situation, surely it's worth him being given a go, because it could even raise his value in the window a bit more potentially. Like, surely
Havertz and Trossard are going to play ahead of him, plus Eddie and Nketiah. It logically makes no sense for him to stay. We haven't even played him in preseason. He's going.
No, but I mean, I'm sure he's going, but I just mean in general, as in like right now with the situation Arsenal are in, surely he's worth some minutes off the bench or starting ahead of Nketiah.
I'm telling you, this is.
We won't be able to register all these
2.0.
players. That's the problem also.
Yeah. Exactly what this is.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. And they'll come in. Go on.
Yeah.
Go on.
Big up to International Association of Fact Checkers. He said, what happens to Arteta if they don't win as favourites, bottling it 3 years in a row now? Is that grounds for sacking? Igal digging himself a hole again. That's a good point in a sense, you know, because if you're putting him as favourites and he doesn't win it, then it's like, many more times can you just accept mediocrity in a sense?
If the moment I don't see progression from Mikel Arteta and I see regression, that's when it might be time to start looking at moving him on.
So if he finishes below second this season, he should get sacked.
Second's no better. This is exactly the same as last year.
But I'm saying regression. So it would have to be third, no trophies, and like getting knocked out of the Champions League and getting knocked out of all the cups again.
But let's say what if you have the same season as last season? You come second and win no cups. Is that still acceptable?
As long as we're competitive in all competitions and we're still in a title race, and we're seeing that we've made strides to improve, we can still finish the season. We can still finish the season trophyless and say that there's been some level of improvement based on last year. Because last year we were terrible in all the cups. Think about it.
No, that's fair. That's fair. Guys, still 1.1k in the building. Make sure you're hitting the like button on the video, man. Help support the channel. Let's get up to 500 likes, people. We're going to move over to Ryan Gravenberch. Drifting, man. Me and you are battling it for Ryan Gravenberch. You know what I'm saying? I don't really personally want him, if I'm being honest with you, because I just don't see what he adds to us. We already bought Mason out anyway, so what's the point of bringing Gravenberch? We need a DM. You probably need one more DM or something, but we're both in for Gravenberch. What are you saying, man? Do you like Gravenberch, buddy? Because I look at his stocks here. His stocks were high, but now he's hardly played a minute. I'll be looking at his minutes here for buying. It's bad.
And he left Ajax too early. He left Ajax
too early, man. Too early.
But you know what, though, bro? And we all are guilty of this. I ain't pointing any fingers. I've been guilty of this myself. We really do always go to what's the best way to put it? Like recency bias when it comes to certain things. We all do it. Like a man will spend a year out of the limelight and we just forget the guy ever existed. And I think that happens a lot in football. Gravenburch is a baller. Like he is a baller. Like I really truly believe that was perfectly put. He just went to Bayern too early. He left. I think he should have maybe let himself develop a little bit more at Ajax, maybe another season or two. But the kid is only just 22, or not even 22 yet, if I'm not mistaken. And he can. The thing is, he's not a brilliant DM, Said, but he can play DM. So where you've got Casemiro, where he would suit you lot is that's the out and out DM. And then Gravenberch could be the link between DM and midfield and attack. Sorry, do you get what I mean? Like more of a box-to-box DM rather. I know that sounds silly, but that's what Gravenberch is. He's more of a box-to-box DM rather than a DM. That would be beneficial for both of our clubs. Do you get what I mean? I kind of know why we're chasing him at the price as well. I'm hearing 30 million euros. If you can get a player of that quality for 30 million euros, it's unbelievable business. So I think he'll be, now that we've got an out-and-out DM, he might not be the one anybody wanted, but at least he's just a destroyer, and that's all he cares about. I'm all right if Liverpool don't then go and say, let's go and get Gravenburch as well, who can maybe fill in at DM if necessary, but can also play the 8, is a good passer of the ball, is good with the ball. You lot want to get better at keeping possession. We want to get better at keeping possession. He's a possession-based player. That I think whoever gets, if Gravenberch, next move is the wrong one, he could really go into a bad place. If his next move is the right one, I reckon he'll become the player we also
could be like Renato Sanchez, who was unreal at in Portugal, and then he went to Bayern too soon. It fell apart. Then he went on loan to Swansea, and it was awful. And then he's kind of gone to Lille, PSG, and now he's at Roma.
His injuries are terrible.
He could be like one of those. But yeah, I agree with Drifty. His next move has to be right because he's already wasted like a number of years at Bayern of his career when he should have just stayed at Ajax for a couple more years, and it could have been so different for him. So the next move has to be right.
He'd be perfect for what Liverpool want to do. He'd be absolutely perfect. He'd fit their formation the way they play that glove.
What were they playing when it's like they've already got McAllister and Szoboszlai? You know, they've got like
it's squad depth, isn't it? He might not necessarily start week in, week out, but
you don't want to do that again. No, I don't think so.
He would play though. Like Bayern,
he transition into defensive midfield because then it would make sense.
I think he would be a good replacement 12 months earlier for Thiago. It would be like we're replacing Thiago while Thiago's still here, which is what you're meant to do. You're not meant to wait till the player goes before you replace him. You're meant to bring the player in a year before. He can't pass anywhere near as good as Thiago, but he could be in our team what Thiago is or what he could have been. He's a very good passer. He's probably better at progressing the ball. He's a good player. Like I think people are just forgetting how good he was because he's had a really bad time at Bayern Munich. But Gravenberch is a good player. I would not be upset if Liverpool buy him.
But does he bring you back to winning league titles right away? So
possibly.
Isn't it kind of like you're missing your opportunity to keep your window of winning titles open?
It's FSG though, isn't it? Their owners don't want to spend money.
They will spend money, but just on when they feel it's right to. Like Liverpool do spend. Like I mean, a lot of FSG massive fans or anything, but they do spend. They are prepared to spend 110 on Caicedo. They spent big money on Alisson. They spent big money on Van Dijk.
Bro, very, very few and far between, bro.
It's few and far between. But like, if they feel it's right, though, they will drop big money. But it's not on a regular thing.
Yeah, like, we get new school shoes every 3 years. That's not good enough, you know.
What's stopping you from getting Paulinho, getting a defender, and being back?
No, we can't spend 70 million Paulinho at 28 years old. Not the way we operate. Not the way we operate.
We're on the age, though, man. Why are you stressing?
Because he's going to be in the team for about 5 years, so we can't make sure he's young enough that by the time the 4 or 5 years come, we're still all right. You know what I mean? Once we buy players, they're here for the long haul. Trust me.
You'll be surprised. Some of the Premier League's greatest legends joined teams late in their careers and became great players. Look at Ian Wright.
For clubs that will spend,
who joined their careers late in certain teams and became great players for that team and left good legacies. I think Liverpool right now.
Man said 28 no, yeah. Hold on a minute. He said 28 no for Paulinho, but his club has signed Endo, who's 30 years old. So I don't know.
And it is totally out of the budget. You want to know what's crazy? Endo's only he's on 16 grand a week and he only costs 16.5 million. I mean, how bad of it?
16 grand a week.
What?
He's on 16 grand a week. The report said he was on 11 grand a week at Stuttgart, and we've given him 16 grand a week.
11 grand a week.
You got cheapskates, man. You lot are slide, man.
That's worse than Levy.
I feel bad for him if it's true. I really do feel bad for him. He should be in at least 50. I do feel bad for him. But he's a very non-risk signing who maybe for a year or two can fill in. But if we go and buy someone like Gravenberch, who's a young player, that will be for the future. It depends. But Paulinho, they want 70, 77 mil, I'm hearing. Liverpool aren't going to spend that on a 28-year-old. I think Paulinho is a brilliant player. I'll take him at Liverpool like that. Liverpool are never going to spend close to 80 million on a 28-year-old.
So what do you need to be back? Or do you not think you're going to be able to do it?
I think if we'd have bought Caicedo, I think would have been a title challenge. So what we need to do now is we need to go and buy another player along with Endo. No, we'd have bought Caicedo and a centre-back, we'd have been in a title challenge. If we now buy a centre-back and someone like Decore to go in with Endo, I think we'll be in the title challenge.
But do you think
people are sleeping on it?
But you say you wouldn't spend 70 on Palhinha, but Palace are quoting 70, 80 million for Decore. Would you think that's 70, 80 million
He's
on
a
Decore?
bit younger though. What's he, 20,
he's a bit younger, but do you think that's a better use of 70 or 80 million?
No, Pauline is a better player. Pauline is a better player.
So you'd rather spend that money on Palhinha than Decore, for example?
No, but Decore is only 23, right?
Yeah.
So you've got that longevity more. Do you get what I mean? So
longevity hype though, man. Longevity hype. I'm sorry.
No,
man.
but Saeed, why do you think Naby never left? Why do you think Ox never left? Bro, these players never left, bro. We're stuck with these, man. Naby was here for 5 years. We can't spend money on old players.
Long-term project. When you look at FSG and what they're built on, they're not built on really long-term vision. And like they brought Salah, at 24, 25, like when he was obviously coming up and whatnot. Like, I don't understand this idea that fans don't want to buy these ready-made players at 28 anymore. Like why
look at Harry Kane. Harry Kane's 30.
Yeah, we do, but our owners don't. I'm not telling you like what I would do. I'm telling you like how my club operates. I have to live in reality. I can't do the la la land thing where I'm like, yo, do you know what? Let's hope. No, I gotta live in reality. My owners are not spending. Salah was only 30 mil, bro. That's why I didn't matter how old. And it was only 25. That is still 35? More peak. Mane was 35. Yeah. He was 25. I think they're peak ages. We are never spending close to 80 million on a 28.
Would you take Amrabat at Liverpool because he's been linked with Liverpool recently as well?
Right.
Do you have him?
I don't think he's Liverpool. I don't think he's Liverpool quality. But along with Endo, both of them, maybe it would have been the worst thing in the world.
Did you get Gravenburch?
Victory.
Amrabat is not Liverpool quality.
Amrabat and a centre back. I'd say you're in a title race.
Okay, let me ask him a question. Endo or Amrabat? Endo or Amrabat, Jeffrey?
Amrabat in a heartbeat.
I think Amrabat is better than Endo.
Yeah.
But we're not buying Endo to be first teamer all the time for the next 5-6 years.
First teamer right now, though.
No, right now, but I do believe we'll probably get someone.
We'll get someone else. I can't believe Liverpool won't Endo is the only one.
If Endo is all we buy for the DM, you're not going to see me raging. Trust me, you're not going to see me raging.
You can't sign any midfielders till you sell, can you?
Yeah, till we sell, yeah. And we can't sell Maguire because he don't want to leave.
United.
Yeah, United can't. Yeah, mate, Maguire. Mate, how did you lot turn down 60 mil for McTominay and Maguire? That's mad.
Listen, when I said it, apparently it was seen as, Saeed, we could get more. I'm the accountant for Man United. We could get more. I said, shut up, man. The problem is, what Chelsea have realised and what most clubs have to realise that I'm one of them where if you could take the rotten apples out, I'd rather take the rotten apples out now than rather thinking about, what can I get more for the rotten apples? Because for me, that's what Maguire has become now. He's become a rotten apple in a sense of the fan base don't want him. The manager clearly doesn't want him because he's saying it. He needs to play better. If he does get to the standards, then it is what it is. So I just feel like sometimes it's best. We already took a loss anyway. What are you talking? We paid 85 million, man. So we're already taking a loss. So what is it of use to keep a player that we don't need and we could get Pavard? Because now Pavard is going to Inter Milan, for 25 million euros.
Is he right?
You want to know something?
Yeah.
Saeed, you dodged the bullet.
Start. As soon as the final United not involved anymore, all right, then we'll take 25 million euros.
Pavard's not that good. Pavard's not that good. He would have been alive.
I think people under what you
call him. He's better than Maguire.
He's better than Maguire, and also he's also a bit. He's versatile in the sense he can play right back, centre back. He's experienced
left back as well.
Playing. Yeah, in a back three as well. He can work out in a back three as well. Listen, I think a lot of times people bash Pavard for the sake of bashing Pavard. I don't think there's kind of almost like an analysis behind it. It's just like, he's average or, he's not that great. Like, I get it. He's not.
He had a bad season last year by his standards. That's why.
Oh, you offering?
I don't know, man.
Sorry, are you offering Evans an actual contract? I've seen that somewhere.
Yeah, 1 year contract.
1 year contract for Johnny Evans.
He's better than.
I don't see the harm in that. Mate, just play him in the cup games.
No.
Play him in the cup games.
He's better than Lindelof, isn't it?
Just what I'm saying. Play him in the cup games.
Respectful to Lindelof.
Yeah, bro. Play him in the cup games.
What is this? You might watch Lindelof. Listen, Lindelof might be playing better than Van Dijk, man.
Mate, so you can't go. Mate,
you can't sell Van Dijk.
Mate, you can't sell Maguire. You can't sell Maguire, and you're signing Johnny Evans on a 1 year deal.
Listen, you know what it is with Johnny Evans, yeah? People can say it's harmless, innit?
You know,
But
wages.
this is what I don't like, man. Sentiment gets involved in it. And it's like now, yeah. Let me say, who's I don't know, who's left
He's
in the
a
last
new
couple
he's
of
a
years?
new Phil Jones,
Oh,
mate.
we got El Neni, the club mascot. I love him though.
That's what I'm saying, but yo, man, them like, yo, you got to move on El Neni. Like, I
No,
like
if
him,
you want
he's
to
a
talk
good
about
player.
Deadwood, we're giving Eric Dyer a testimonial at the end of the year.
Hasn't Ben Davis need to have
What?
one as well?
Yeah, he'll
What?
be his 10th season,
Testimonial?
Saeed. Yeah, his 10th season. So he'll get a little kick
Wow.
about.
Wait, is he leaving?
Wow.
No, of course he's not. He's going to stay one more year and go on a free.
Mate,
Have you not seen
Nah,
the
man.
links to Ferguson from Brighton to Tottenham?
Yeah, 120 million apparently. They want
Absolutely
120 million.
ridiculous. We're never paying that in a million years.
Nah,
Mate,
never
you
know-
ever.
Evan Ferguson
He's
is
good.
actually the next Harry Kane.
I think
Yeah, he's 18.
100
Yeah.
million
He
is
actually
stupid,
is.
but he's a good player, though.
Yeah.
Listen, there is no way Daniel Levy, right, is going to spend 120 million on an 18-year-old. It's not happening. I'll
Mate,
bet anyone
you
out
need
there,
to-
it ain't happening.
You need to sell some players as well,
would you
don't it?
take him? Would you take
Yeah,
him
I'd
if it
take
was
him.
like, what if it was 50 mil and then 50
Oh,
mil in add-ons?
I'd
So
take-
like,
I'd do
if
that.
he achieved what he was supposed to, it ended up being 100 mil. Would you do
What,
it
say
then?
we got in the Champions League or won a trophy?
Yeah.
Or like, yeah, and he scored like 20 goals every season, or some kind of bonus that would
If
you
the
then
add-ons
take?
were like realistic, but also like a target for us to get, then in this market you'd probably have to take it. But the problem we've got is now we're all about Richarlison. The club are going to give Richarlison a chance, so we ain't going to go and do that. We're going to sign another striker who is on a similar level to Richarlison. I actually think Ferguson's better, and they'll buy them two to compete with each other. If we sign Ferguson, he starts, and there's no way that at 50 million I'd take him in a heartbeat, even with the add-ons. Like,
Take a chance on Vlahovic because there's no way
Well-
you're going to ever do business with Brighton or Brentford and get a discount. Those two clubs,
No,
there's
no
no
discount.
so we got Basuma for 25 million.
Yeah,
He-
but he
I'm-
wanted
he-
they
no,
wanted-
but they-
he wanted out though.
But that was a situation where it was come get him. Same as McAllister. It was a come get me. This is the price. But look at
And
what
what
they
happened
did
to Orban
with,
as well?
look at what they did with Caicedo. Look at what they did with Ben White. These guys
And Carrera as well.
sell
Correa,
players for a lot of
Sanchez.
money.
That's rare as well.
Cameron.
Yeah.
Mate, who are you
Yeah.
selling though, Henry? Because like obviously, you know, a lot of teams need to get rid of players as well, mate. You know you're in trouble when not even Saudi want your Deadwood. That's when you're fucked.
Listen, our Deadwood doesn't even start in Saudi.
Yeah.
Let's be real. Who's buying Davinson Sanchez?
Well,
Like,
no,
let's be real. Who's buying Eric Dyer? Who's going to buy Ndombele, who's our club record signing and he's on £200,000 a week? Who's going to give them their wages? No one is. So they're just going to run their contracts down. We've probably got in our 25, well, it's not even a 25-man squad. In our 35-man squad, right, we've probably got 12 players minimum that need to go. Like Sessegnon. Obviously, we've got rid of Rodon now. Dyer, Sanchez, flipping Davis, you know, forwards, midfielders coming out of our backside that just need to move on now. But we're one of the worst clubs at selling players.
You hit the jackpot with
yeah,
Madison.
Madison's great.
Yeah, Madison
Yeah,
was
but
a
the
top
problem is
signing.
that will just paper the cracks. The club are pushing out so much PR for him, which is fantastic. We've already apparently made a song about him, and he's going to have a tifo about him tomorrow. That's great, but Madison can't do it on his own, and we did try to do this with Harry Kane. Like, you could score 30 goals a season, but if you're conceding 65 goals or whatever it is, it's irrelevant. Like, we brought
Yeah,
in
no,
Van
you're
der
right.
Ven.
You're spot on.
I've never
No,
seen
it's
so
spot
much
on, man. I
pressure
think-
on a centre back in all my life. Like, if this Van der Ven has one bad game, they're going to be on him like flies on crap, mate. If he has one bad game,
Yeah, listen, I think Tottenham are creating something. I think they're missing a striker, though, man. But the problem is, though, man, the market for a striker right now isn't
Yeah,
great, man. That's the
crap.
problem, man.
you got Gift
If you-
Orban sitting there, who's at Ghent, who they want for 25 million quid, who's 21 years of age and has scored 46 goals in 50 games.
Well, that should be.
What
Why
are
is that
in the
not?
Belgian
what are
league,
we
though, innit?
doing?
Belgian
But
league.
why? They've done
Let's
it in
be honest,
Europe
man.
as well, in the Conference League.
He's done it, people can say, "Oh, he done it in Belgium," but
He looks good.
you're still playing up against some level of opposition. Meanwhile, we've got Richarlison, who scored one goal at Anfield, and we paid 60 million quid for this guy.
But Henry, the deal to get Gift Orban is surely so easy to do. Spurs have easily got 25 million quid. He'd definitely take the move. That's not.
yeah,
a
but
hard
you know what
deal.
we're like. You know what we're like.
But
We
why is
took
that
7
taking
weeks
so long?
to get Van der Ven over the
Why
line.
is that taking so long though? Like,
It's
if you want
Levy.
him, yeah,
Levy.
that should be an easy. That deal could be done in a week easily.
Look at the centre back
Yeah.
from Wolfsburg, right? We just got Van der Ven. Wolfsburg is a step up. Going to play for Tottenham, right? It's a step up.
Yeah.
It took us 7 weeks to get the deal done. Chelsea, in the same time that Harry Kane signed for Bayern Munich, when I got Casado done, Lavia done, right, and put money on the table for Elise. Since we've sold Harry Kane, and what have we done?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Club's
I don't know, man. Yeah. This super chat's threw me off, man. This Angela White girl, I don't know what you're on about here, man. But she's saying I saw with the body today.
You know, it's simple as that, isn't it?
Listen, I don't know, man. I don't know what you're on about, man. I was
I
in
was just
Jumma
gonna
today,
say
man. It's
something on
Friday.
Tottenham.
I don't know, man. Today's holy day, man. It's Friday prayer, man. I was chilling, man. I was holy today, man. Allow me. Hit 44, Mr. Can't wait to see Son in Saudi next year. Bro, they tried to come for Varane today, man. I don't know if you guys seen
If they put a bid in for Son,
They tried coming for Gabriel.
see you later. If they put a bid in 80 million quid for Son, I'll take it, or 70 million quid, I'll take it in a heartbeat.
I don't blame you.
Wow.
No hesitation.
That's mad.
Even 60 million, 50 million, I'll take it right now.
How old is he? He's like, what, 30 or 31?
31.
He
Lost his
become-
pace.
He
Can't beat
became
a man.
Didn't he become a year younger or something?
It's some Korean law where the day you're born or something. I don't know. Yeah.
What?
I'd be real. I'd cash
Hold
in
on a
for
minute.
him.
What's that?
Yes, you're the,
UK year.
there's
a year younger or
the day
something?
you're born, you become 1 year of age, not a day old.
Wow.
So if you're born on December the 31st,
You're 1.
on January the 1st, you become 2. That's the way they work it out. It's madness.
That's a mad law, mate. But yeah, shout out to the Koreans, innit? You get me? Like, it is what it is, man. But I think for me, it's one of them where, Tottenham, I think they've got exciting stuff coming up. I think it just depends on whether we think Tottenham, because you know what it is here? There's a lot of clubs like Tottenham. I'm going to put Tottenham now in the bracket of Newcastle, Brighton, and Aston Villa. Yeah.
And Brighton.
Yeah, I'm putting them in that bracket. I think they're the teams that I think could be a surprise or they could be underwhelming. They're in that group there. Man United, Liverpool, Chelsea are in another group of false pretenders. Like they're basically like pretenders to be in a title race, but they really aren't going to be in the title. Even though Chelsea must be in the title race with the money they spend. And then you've got Arsenal.
Chelsea must win the league. Are you mad with £1 billion?
Bro, speak on it, man. I don't know, man.
Chelsea must. They must win the league.
It doesn't work like that though, because like in that case,
we don't care.
We
don't care. $1 billion. You spent $1 billion, bro. We don't care.
If we get 80 million for those two, believe me, more incomings are coming. But Tottenham, my thing with Tottenham is they need to forget about investing in the attack. Fix the defense. The defense has been the problem for so long. You build on that defense, you have enough goals in your team. You're going to find goals from midfield. Bentancur might pop up. Kulusevski will pop up. Buy defenders because you have Christian Romero. I don't rate him. I don't think he's all that. I think he's very rash, aggressive, over-aggressive. He needs a calm head in the midfield, in the defense with him. The new guy, I don't know enough about him. And as you've said, all your other defenders are useless. So,
I mean, I'll right back. You watch Man United, right? You watch Man United. All they'll do is target Emerson Royale. Bruno Fernandes will get the ball and look for Rashford immediately. Nothing will go down Udoji's side because he can actually defend.
Isn't he good going forward, though? Didn't he score at the weekend?
Yeah, but like the guys, who puts their comp of their self on their own Instagram? Like, the guy's absolutely tapped.
Wow.
He's tapped in the head, mate. Like he scored a good little strike, and it's listen, it's a good finish. Don't get me wrong, but you don't see Erling Haaland doing that. You don't see Harry Kane doing that. You see a little like picture of them clapping the fans or something. And he put some bandoody music over it. Like, I mean, Jesus Christ, it's embarrassing.
Was he the one who said that he's bound for Barcelona or something?
Oh, it was his dad or something that said he wanted to go to Real Madrid. Yeah, because I think his dad's agent or something.
Like
yeah, he spends €1 million on his body a year, and he's getting worse.
100 what?
Wow.
Like products and health stuff? Or?
No, like recovery, ice chambers, massages, probably happy endings and all. Like the guy's ridiculous. Like I'm not gonna lie, it's crazy. It's crazy.
That's mad.
Is he better than Porro though?
This is the problem, right? Porro is great going forward. He's like a winger, but can't defend for toffee. Royale is okay
He
at
spent
defending,
money.
but can't go
How much you
forward.
spend on Porro?
Porro was
We spent
expensive.
100 million on right backs trying to replace Kyle Walker. Over 100 million.
Crazy.
15 on Doherty, 15 on Aurier, 25 for Aurier, 45 million on Porro, 15 million on Spence, 25 million on Roya, 130 million quid trying to replace Kyle Walker.
What's happened to Spence, by the way?
Jed Bench.
Bro, Spence, man. I don't know why Liverpool are not in for him, you know. Like,
Jed Bench.
Oh man, yeah, that knocked me sideways. There,
but why doesn't he play though? Like he's a talented boy.
Problem is, we loaned him out to France. I think he went to Rennes or Reims or wherever it was, and he's apparently there's some sort of attitude problem there. But you don't have how many Premier League teams have got 3 or 4? We've got 4 players that can play right back.
Mate, 2. You need 2 tops. That's it.
Yeah. We've got 3 right backs, and we've got 3 left back, 4 left backs who can play there.
Was Spence a club signing then? Because Conte definitely didn't want
him. Levy. It took Levy 8 months to get him over the line. Took him 8 months.
Oh god!
And you know, I don't know, man. If we don't get another centre back, and we get one injury to Van de Ven or Dyer,
or Romero red card, or when Romero gets his inevitable red card.
When Romero sprints 30 yards out of his defensive line and snaps Bruno Fernandes in half, right? And he's out for 3 games. We might as well roll out Eric Dyer, get the red carpet out. Here comes one of our best centre halves. He's got his testimonial match coming up. Club's a disgrace.
Yeah,
like Chelsea are out there spending more than La Liga, and we can't even get a centre back in.
I want to quickly, last 5 minutes or so. Lavia's been announced. Jurgen Klopp come out here and said transfer business is like that. You talk to people like agents and stuff, and sometimes it works out, sometimes not. The window is open until pretty much something else can happen. That from the outside going, nothing will happen. But Lavia's been announced. What are you saying, bro? Apparently, Eden Hazard congratulated him as well.
Yeah, Hazard had quite played a reasonable part in it. Obviously, Hazard was at the game on Sunday against Liverpool. He'd spoken to Lavia quite a lot. I think he met him in London before the move. Obviously, they're both Belgian. He was telling them about Chelsea and how great it is and all that. I'm not saying it's purely down to him, but he had a factor on the deal.
Hazard,
Eden Hazard, he had a factor on the deal. Okay. And obviously as well, we had Joe Shields, who was at Man City with Lavia, who then went to Southampton with him, who's now at Chelsea. So he knows him very well. I think he's like one of our directors of recruitment or whatever. And you know, he's kind of he's obviously agreed to come, which is great. And like, you know, you've seen quite a lot of this stuff about history, and like, obviously, we're not talking about history. There's no one saying that Chelsea's got a better history than Liverpool in terms of overall history. But for these young players that are signing, when you're 19, 20, 21, history that they're talking about when they're growing up is Chelsea and Man City winning pretty much everything. So when you're talking about history, it's not history in a sense of overall club history. It's the recent history that they've grown up and seen, and that's what these players have grown up and seen. So. Like when it comes down to it, like Chelsea's, like in those young players' eyes, is the most successful club in the last 20 years that they've grown up watching. So that's why there's an appeal to play for us. There's London, yes, of course, it's great to have a 7-year contract and have 9 or whatever on
9-year contract.
For
9 years, bro.
Guys, it's insane, isn't it? It's absolutely.
I say those 8 years with an option of a 9th, and then Lavia is 7. But yeah, it's long contracts, of course. But yeah, mate, the midfield's revamped. We've gone from an aging Kante, Jorginho, and Kovacic, and in 6 months we've gone to Enzo Fernandez, Lavia, and Caicedo. That's like from being homeless to living in a mansion. That is mad.
It is, but it's a lot. It's 250 odd million quid on 3 midfielders.
Oh, yeah, it is. And of course, it's going to be like the proof will be there when in the coming years as to how they're going to do. I don't think there's any doubts on Enzo Fernandez. I think you only have to see him against Liverpool. He was unbelievable, and he stood out in a really poor Chelsea team last year.
What about Poch though? Because Poch is like, I don't think there's obviously if they give him time, he will 100% be successful. I know Poch.
Yeah, of course.
With us, but if he doesn't, and there's a similar vibe to what Todd Bowley did with Graham Potter, where you spent 300 million, and he axed him after 4 months. What happens then? Because now, like, obviously Abramovich had this mentality: you've got to win at all cost. That's the metric of success. It's not a phase 5. Say Arteta will be in phase 48 before he wins the title, and Arsenal fans will still be twerking for him. With your club, it's different. It's a winning mentality. So if Poch doesn't deliver, like, I don't know, man.
Well, it depends. Like, obviously, like, these owners have come in and, you know, they said that they want to give managers time. And look, obviously, it doesn't look like Graham Potter was there 8 months, but what was there? Like, they gave him so much more time than, like, he would have got under Roman. Mate, he would have been sat before the World Cup under Roman. Like, they gave him as much time as they possibly could have done. But the problem is that things weren't even looking like they were improving. They were just getting worse and worse and worse. So just because we got rid of the manager, it doesn't mean that the plans changed. It just means that someone different is going to oversee the plan. So I still believe that these owners will give the manager time. Pochettino, I think, is the perfect manager right now for what we're looking to do in terms of all these young
100%.
players and developing a style of play and identity and developing these players into better players. Sure. But there's always pressure at Chelsea. There's going to be even more pressure now because we've got the 2 most expensive Premier League signings of all time in midfield. The pressure ramps up. We spent a lot of money. It's an exciting
squad. That's crazy, when you deep it. When you deep it like that, it's mad, isn't it? There's
a lot of talent there, and the pressure's going to be there. But spend like this money that we've spent. It doesn't make us better than Man City right now, but it certainly gives us the potential in, say, a couple years' time to be challenging for the league and be better than Man City for sure. But right now, I've always said this season, we have to qualify for the Champions League, and there's no excuses not to win a domestic cup. I don't care if it's League Cup, I don't care if it's FA Cup. We have to come Champions League and win a domestic cup because we have to do that.
Do you know what's crazy though? Just quickly, and I'm not even disagreeing with you to a degree where you say like it's like going from being homeless to living in a mansion. But what's crazy is that 3 rivals took the players who are seen to be dead food for Chelsea. And it's been confusing the hell out of me how this actually did happen. Because the money Chelsea recouped wasn't like some little itty-bitty money. I think Chelsea got over 150 million for Havertz.
Havertz
and Mount,
Havertz and Mount, we got 100 and... we get 60, 65. We've got 125 mil for Havertz and Mount. And then Kovacic.
And then 40 for Kovacic.
Kovacic was 25.
Oh, 20. So nearly 150 from... So how comes the other teams felt like those players were good enough for them, but Chelsea didn't think they were good? It's weird. I'm confused.
It's weird. I mean, Kovacic, like, he wanted to leave, and his performances have been on a dip for Chelsea for the last 12 months. So fair enough. Havertz was terrible for us. I can't believe after 3 seasons where he was shit, we pretty much got our money back, which is mad. And then obviously Mount that the situation was the situation. But yeah, look, obviously for me, like, selling to rivals is never ideal, but we know financially the Premier League is going to offer the biggest prices. And so it comes down to finances at the end of the day. We want to get the biggest fee possible. But and do you know what? If these guys go on and do well at these clubs, then so be it. But they weren't doing a business for Chelsea. So I don't mind too much.
No, absolutely, man. Guys, we're going to wrap it up here, man. It's been a good one. Nearly 1.3K still in the building. I appreciate all the support, but we need the likes to be up, man. We've not even hit 500. So that means what?
Less than half.
Yeah, less than half, which is crazy, guys. So for you guys to not like the video, it's a bit of a sad one. I can't lie, but you've got your time to redeem yourself. Helps the channel algorithm. You know the score, man. Drifty, big up for coming on, man, as usual, man. Always love, man.
As always, man. Yeah, man. Good to be here. Big up everyone in the chat. Make sure you smash the like, man. And let's bring it on. It's going to be very, very interesting this season. I'm kind of feeling optimistic for some stupid reason. I don't know what it is.
Nah, that's what it's about, man. That's what it's about, people. So make sure you guys are hitting the like button on the video, and make sure you're following Kopish as well, man. Big up to Charlie. Make sure you follow him as well. Let them know what you got coming up.
Yeah, mate. Thanks for having me as always. Pleasure. Guys, just check me out. Blue Brother CFC. It's on the screen there. About 100 away from 6K now, so we can try and get as close to that as possible. That would be wicked. So please feel free to subscribe. I'm also over on Chelsea Fan TV. Lots of stuff going on over there. So feel free to check both of those things out.
Yeah, there you go, people. Make sure you do that, people, and check his channel out. Henry, we're going to be live on your channel now, but big up to you, man, as always, for coming on, mate.
Yeah, big up everyone in the chat and you boys. Premier League's back. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm optimistic for some reason, like Drifty said as well, but Still a couple of weeks of the transfer window, and boy, we need defenders.
Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely. Guys, make sure you like the video. Big up to Gal who came on as well. Big up to Huey and Babs who were also part of the show as well. Big up to everybody. And like I said, I'll be doing also the buy-in game. I'll be doing Hurricanes debut. So I think they play Werder Bremen.
You're absolutely shameless, aren't you? Absolutely shameless.
We're just there, man. We're just gonna see what he's about, innit? See if he can handle the German Bundesliga. Even though really I don't really watch Bundesliga, but I'm just gonna see what he's saying.
Saeed, you got a Harry Kane Bayern shirt, have you?
Nah, not really. Not really.
not yet. Not yet.
You, man. Thanks for coming on, guys, and I'll see you soon.